Okay. Hello. We're going to try this. We're going to try this again. We're going to be looking at the Lumibricks, not Lego, but thanks for coming to SoBricks. This is the Lumibricks Street Fusion Barbershop set. It has 2,557 pieces, all printed pieces, no stickers or anything, and it has lights that are also in here. And I paid $130 for this. The retail price is $150, but they pretty regularly go on sale. I'm really excited about this one. I like a lot of Lumibricks stuff. It is going to take a while to build, so I'm probably not going to do it all today, but I'm going to work into it, and it does take, I usually spend a little bit of time like sorting and stuff for Lumibricks because I don't have a huge building space, and there's a lot of bags and a lot of pieces in the bags. So we are going to get into it, and thanks for coming by. If you're here, I appreciate that. And I'm going to open this up, sort the bags of pieces. I'm going to use digital instructions for this, and have some good stuff. I do have some external batteries that I'll use to test the lights right away and other stuff like that. So I'm going to kind of move my mic away just for a minute, but hopefully you can still hear me, and hopefully the music's not too loud. I didn't have music last time I streamed, but I wanted like something a little bit in the background. So we'll see how this works, and I'm gonna get into this. I know that we have a couple of different videos for Lumibricks on the channel already. I have been really impressed with their stuff. It's been really fun. I think it looks great. I think the value is pretty darn good, so I've been really enjoying that. Oh, bumped the camera. And we'll have to see how well sorted this all is. So, got a big instruction booklets in here. And like I say, I usually like to sort of sort the pieces a little bit while they're in bags, because they don't really do the bags inside of bags thing like the Lego group does. So they just have lots of different numbered bags in here, and F I know I need right away, so I like to go through these and kind of align them. 2 I will need early, 3, and usually what I do, I don't do this on my desk. I move it onto the ground, but let's see how we manage here if we have it like this, and I'll sort of keep things out here. Another F, we're gonna need that right away. 13, 7, another 1 here, so we'll put that with the F and the 1. And I don't know how many numbered bags there are, but then I'll sort of line them up in the box. So I got like 15 here. That might be the number 8, 7. Let's start with 15 being the highest number. And we'll put those there. Then we got 14. Is any of this 14? I find it's helpful to like literally take them all out. Oh, we got some S bags here. I'm actually going to set the box on the ground because I dropped some. And hopefully I can remain semi in the frame while I do this, because I know it's better there. Gonna need this box right away. Whoops, sorry. looks like there's a couple pieces that popped out of a bag or two. All right, so I got 14, 13. Here's a 13. And now we're looking for 12. Do I have any 12 up here? Yes, I do. 12. Another 14. Another bag 1. Another bag 1. Another 15, 13, got a 10, 3, this is a 7, this is 10, 10, 12, all right, 12. I think I had some 11s up here. 11. Those are all 1, 7, 7, 7, 4, 9. We got 2. All right, so 10s. We're looking for 10s. 10, 10, 10, 10, 9, 9. That's a 6. That is a 6. All right. Do we have 8 here? Do we have 8? I got at least 1 8. 5, 2, 6. Were any of these 8s? No. Do I have any 8s here? Yes. 8. Do that. 7, 7, 7, 7. Back here. Onto 6. 6. 6. Oh, another 8. 5. Then we got a 4. 4. 3, 3. 3. Another 3. And then we got 2. So, when I build Lumibricks, I usually set these up. So I got all my bag 1s here, so let me show this just for the sake of it. The bags come in the box all disorganized. I line them up so I have 2 on top here, and then it goes like all the bags numbered 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 back, and then over here is 8 until 15. So I can just quickly grab the ones out of there between them, because Lumibricks does this in a different way than other manufacturers, particularly like the big Danish brand. Does it a little bit differently. So I actually think Lumibricks could improve a little bit on not making each bag number so big, because if you have limited workspace like I do, or just any other reason, it's a little bit more manageable to not have so many pieces. I like to lay out all the pieces and build from there. I don't keep them in bags or anything. And so It would be appreciated if it was a little bit easier on me. In the future, I will have more room, but that is fine. I have a handy dandy knife to open this up, and inside the box we typically get the all the little accessories. We get some of the lights, we get the little tweezers in here, which I do use. I don't typically need to use the screwdriver, but we do get one, and we have the battery box, but I am going to use an external battery so I can get those out of the way. And one of the first things I like to do before I start opening bags is, and I think this is best practice, I'm pretty sure the instructions say this, is just testing out all of the batteries here. So, or not the batteries, rather the lights, to make sure I don't have any duds. I haven't ever had any duds with any Lumibricks set, so I've had either pretty good luck or they do a pretty good job with these. It seems like they do a pretty good job. So this set does come with a USB-A to USB-C, and that would go in that battery box. That battery box is, I believe, one that takes double A's. So that is nice, better than the AAA one, and both of those are better than the watch battery ones for the buildings. They do a pretty good job with those. So I'll plug this in. I will have to see if the actual like connecting thing that I need is in one of these. It should be. Ooh, some interesting kind of lights that I haven't seen yet. That is very interesting. So we've got little connector pieces here. That is good. And I gotta have to see what's in the next one there. And then I can kind of move these off to the side after I'm done testing them, and just when I need to utilize them. So, okay, there we go. And that means I can use this to plug this in. This will be studded down, and now I'll have to get a little bit creative, but I'm just going to go 1 and 1 here and test what I can. So get this in there, pop this on. These lights are flashing, and that is good. So I can put that one aside. I think I will do this one. I'm going to need to connect because it has one of these pressure plates. So I'll connect in this bit here, and then I will hold that to the bottom of this. Something, how do we usually do this? Something like that, I believe. Put that in there, and I'll flip this on. Do I have this the wrong way? There we go. Oh, I can see those light up. That is all good. Those are pretty bright. Do I have any other ones that need the pressure plate? I don't think so. Pop in this one. I think Lumibricks does generally a pretty good job with QC on these, quality control for these. And I haven't ever had to, we got lights from those. Is that supposed to happen? There we go. You can see those. Different color lights in there. I haven't had any duds. I haven't had any need to contact their customer service, but I do believe what I've heard and what I've read online is that they have pretty good customer service. So hopefully that is true. We got these lights working. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Think we can get away with just plugging in this one. Excellent. Let me see. Oh, very nice. Okay. Should be good. This one, yeah, we can test with this. And we got some like other lights here, which are probably my least favorite ones to work with. But we'll have to see. Not this one, but the ones in the little container over there are not my favorite. And whoops. So we can see what we got going on here. Flip this on. There we go. Got that one on. And then we'll test these ones. So these have a, we'll just keep those together for now. They have kind of a, there's no stickers in this set, but these kind of string lights or whatever, these little like flexible light bars, have an adhesive on the back, so you peel off the film and then you adhere them to something. I haven't had good experiences with those. On the new Speed Champions, thanks for joining in. Sorry, I don't know if when you sent that, but hello. If by the new Speed Champions you mean the ones that are coming out or in the future that aren't out yet, I am excited about getting more. I do love Speed Champions. I'm not thrilled about the price increase, but I've said this through previous price increases. If they, make them really, really good, printed pieces and good quality printed pieces, good quality stickers, and the builds are really interesting. I think from the ones I've seen, I will be getting them all. But $30, I'm not sure if that's, I don't know how much further I'm willing to go than that, because that is, I don't know, they just used to be really cheap. The number of times I could have bought the like Nissan, like what's the character's name, the Skyline maybe from Fast and Furious, that for like $16 because of a discount. It was insane. And there was a lot of the other 8 wides that you could get for 20% off, and the retail price was $20. So then you could get them for like $16, which was fantastic. And then they went up to 25 and still not too bad. And then went up to 27, and I was like, okay, they impressed me with their stuff, more printed pieces, more interesting stuff, dense builds, and cool looking models. And then they went up to $28, and they were only there for like a release or two, and then now we're jumping up to 30. So I don't know, what do you think about them? Because I am holding off for now, and we have to put together the terrific Lumibricks figures here. Make sure I got everything. For some reason the instructions are loading a bit slow for me, even though they're a PDF. Yeah, June and August. I know there's like the double pack that has, oh, what is the truck that is in it? I know it's like got a $60 retail price. I can't remember. It's got like a bigger car and a smaller car, and looks pretty good. I like those. Like, I really liked when they did the G-Wagon, the Mercedes 2-pack. I thought was great. I don't know if it's a Land Rover, like a Range Rover or something, and I don't know what the other vehicle is in that 2-pack, but I'm excited for that. Do I have instructions on which characters go with which stuff here? Yes, okay. Yeah. Yeah, the unicorn. Yeah, the 499. I know because when they did that, they did the little poly bag, and I was like, when are we gonna get the actual set? Because the poly bag was um, branded as a Speed Champions poly bag, and usually they would only do those as like the smaller version of a set that existed. So, and that's been out for a little while, but yeah, I think, I don't know, I'm excited for them for sure. Speed Champions is one of my favorite themes. Um, yeah, but that's good. You know, Land Rover Supra, of course, and the Supra is also a movie car, right? That is the another Fast and Furious car, which I was really excited to see more movie cars. Like, I'm waiting for them to do an Ecto One. I don't know if I have these feet backwards or forwards, but I would love to see like an Ecto One Speed Champion. I think the original version of like the Ecto One was smaller scale, and then they did the big one, which I have reviewed, the Ghostbusters car there. Yeah, do it in the 8 wide. That would be awesome. And like, there's just lots of more movie cars that I think could be great. Of course, Fast and Furious has a lot. You know, they did back in the day, they did the Aston Martin for 007, which I thought was really cool. And there's more stuff they could do there. I mean, frankly, Mystery Machine Speed Champion was great. I actually had the Mystery Machine set from a while ago. I did do a video sort of looking at it, and it was great, but that would be so cool. I don't know what figures they would include, because it would be a bummer if they did like a Speed Champions Mystery Machine, and then are those the same color? I don't know. But then get like only Shaggy and Scooby or something. But there's I don't know, don't the Munsters have a car, or like the Addams Family have a car that would be cool, that's similar to like stuff. I'm a big fan of Elvira, and Elvira had a cool car. You know, the Batmobiles that they did somewhat recently were effectively Speed Champions size, and I thought those were great. So any of that stuff I think would be really cool. The Mystery Machine is a great idea. Hopefully I have this figure done up correctly. These Lumibricks figures, oh, I know this one's wrong. Well, I'll just use this over here. These Lumibricks figures are a little bit strange, and I'm colorblind, which, because Lumibricks has more colors and just generally different stuff than other manufacturers, it's sometimes difficult for me to try to get these put together in the right way, but I just do my best, and that's all we can ask for. Mystery Machine, there's a lot of the old Scooby-Doo stuff is pretty expensive now. I looked into getting some of the other sets after I did a video for the Mystery Machine one, and that one I believe came with Fred, Scooby, and Shaggy, but nobody else. And then maybe it came with like a spooky character as well, although I can't remember super well. I'll have to go back and look at my own video when I covered that. But a lot of the Scooby-Doo stuff is like very expensive. I think in my video looking at, they're just sort of doing a little trial of like shopping on eBay and talking about how I shop or how I look for stuff, and then sort of look at the things I was interested in, things I was not. I saw like a Scooby-Doo set that was really awesome and big, and it was very expensive. I don't know if it was like Mystery Castle or something like that, but it was something. don't know if these are the right hands. I don't think they are. But what can we do here? Yeah, that looks pretty close. Thanks everybody for stopping in. Greg Dillon, thanks for chatting a little while here, and I just appreciate it. Let me know if the music's too loud, too quiet, or the voice too loud, too quiet. That all helps me improve my setup here. I streamed the build of the Star Wars brick built logo. I recorded the review for it earlier today, and I had to restart the stream 4 times because the audio kept dropping out or whatever. Just before I started streaming these last couple times, I had done some work on my computer, and I think I just didn't have my mic plugged into the right spot because I added some storage, and I changed my CPU cooler, and I got a new case. So I was basically taking my old motherboard, graphics card, CPU, RAM, all that stayed the same, but I had to take a lot of it apart and clean a lot of the components off, and I'm going to have some other computer maintenance. So then when I was putting it back together, I think I put the mic in some place where it was having issues. So hopefully that has been resolved. But I do enjoy building in computers and stuff. It's sort of like Lego in some way. All right. Now that we have all of that, we got the minifigures done. These are the pieces for routing cables. This is a minifig accessory. And then we got the lights over here, the cables over here. And now we will have all of these bag one pieces here, which has some bigger pieces, and these as well. It's just a lot to have in front at one time. So I wish Lumibricks would maybe adjust how they do this a little bit, but I'm just happy there's other companies that I've been really enjoying doing. And let me get these out of the way here so we can pop that over there and get into this. I do find that Lumibricks has a bit stronger clutch power than other sets that I've built, and so sometimes pressing together, especially on the first layer here, is going to be a bit of a challenge because they don't use base plates, which I think is preferred, not using base plates, but then they're just stacking a bunch of plates together, and it makes my fingers sore. So I'll get into all of these and just start building. I think the estimated time for this is maybe 16 hours or something. Probably end up taking me a little bit longer, especially if I am streaming while I do it. So let me kind of look at what I got here. Hopefully if people are here, they can still hear me, and we will start going along. So Lumibricks stuff, I have, in my experience, has been very, very cool, very fun. I think they are healthy competition. Their builds are really nice. I have only built one of the sets before they did their rebrand, and it was okay. It could have been better, but I really, really liked it. It's just they hadn't figured out everything with cable routing and pinching wires and all of that stuff yet. And now that they've done the rebrand and all this stuff, they're listening to a lot of people's feedback and making adjustments and making changes, generally for the better. And they still have improvements that they could be doing, but I know at the very least, like, no pinched wires is a big improvement. So we're gonna work on a little rail area here, which is probably where the battery box will slide into, or maybe it's where like a floor would slide out, or there's some other function in there. I'm not 100% sure yet. We're just getting started. And I haven't determined what the best way to stream is. I love to talk, so I don't have a problem talking to what is essentially myself, I guess. Normally, if I was building, especially like a big set like this, I like to like watch something while I build. You know, I sort of don't use my full monitor for the instructions, and then like next to that I'll have something else on there and sort of do it that way. Lately I've been watching a bunch of Taskmaster, which has been a real joy, and I would be great on that show, so maybe one day Taskmaster will get me on there, and then continue from there. I did I had a strategy, sort of. I had like my dream, a dream sort of scenario set up, and I think I can loop a Taskmaster into that. Is I'm gonna be on Jeopardy. I want to be on Jeopardy, but I've been saying for a long time, like, I'm going to be on Jeopardy. And it may not seem like it because I'm often sort of trying to struggle to like remember words or names of things during my videos. But when I'm in the zone, when I'm in Jeopardy mode, I do pretty well. And I've taken some of the practice tests. I've not taken one of the official like tests for qualifying yet, but it's been a consistent sort of thing for me for a number of years. So I say I'm going to be on Jeopardy, and what I usually say from there, see, this is a part where I don't know which color Lumibricks is asking me to use. Let's go this way. I would be on Jeopardy. I would win at least one game, which, you know, I don't know how likely that is, but that was the sort of dream plan. I would win at least one game, so I could be called a Jeopardy champion, and I would parlay that into getting on Survivor. I don't know if Survivor has had a Jeopardy champion on there before. Maybe they have, so I wouldn't be like the first one, but then it is an interesting thing because it's like, oh, they find out that I'm on Survivor because I'm a Jeopardy champion, then they're like, oh, he's smart, so he's going to be like scheming or conniving, but then I do the physical stuff well and whatever, and just sort of see how that makes up to it. Because honestly, being like scheming or conniving or just knowing trivia for Jeopardy is not actually that relevant to Survivor. I haven't watched Survivor in a little while, but I did go through a period of time where I watched a bunch of it, and I don't know how much it would help, but at least it might get me on the show, which is something. And then I wanted to parlay that into being on a podcast that is like movie trivia, because that's some of my best categories, which is called Doug Loves Movies. Ken Jennings has been on there several times, and they've had other Jeopardy champions on Doug Loves Movies, and so I would love to get on there. And then maybe, you know, after all of that, after Survivor, after Jeopardy, after everything, I can get on Taskmaster UK, because the one thing about it is like, oh, that show's like for comedians and stuff, and it's like, well, I'll do a couple sets. I've done a little bit of stand-up a while ago. It was all very, very bad, but sometimes that's what it takes. And so then it's like, I can be funny, I can do improv, and I can have a little stuff. I do tend to enjoy their sort of sense of humor on that show, and the other elements there. And I think I would be really good at the tasks. And I know that like everybody's like, oh yeah, I would be good at the tasks, because the thing about them is you gotta simultaneously, you gotta think inside the box and outside the box. And if little Alex Horn wants to play like just semantic games, I'm all the more willing to sort of go through my or plumb the depths of the language and what the possibilities are. So that was my goal. And who knows, maybe at some point they're like, oh, Jeopardy wants a a Lego YouTube personality on the show, and then maybe Survivor also wants that because they've been on Jeopardy, and then maybe that is enough to get some pull over the Brits and get over into Taskmaster. Although I do have some people in my life who don't think I would be very good at Taskmaster, I know that those people are wrong. So hopefully they don't see this or hear this to know that, because I don't know how pleased they would be. But they got to have some confidence. They got to have some faith in me. And we are running into some limitations here for my build area. If Lumibricks did this with just fewer pieces in the first go and in the second go and in the third go and all of that wonderful stuff, I do think this would be a little bit more manageable. There's also going to be pieces here that if you've only ever built the big brand of brick built toys and collectibles, are going to be new to you. They were to me as well. They're super useful. They are just really really nice, and I do appreciate that they do that. So that is good. Where do we have this one here? Get that on there. And a couple more of these. Terrific. But if anybody who sees this knows how to get me on Taskmaster or how to get me on Jeopardy, I would appreciate, you know, the recommendation, because that would be very fun. And how do we got here? So this is, I'm assuming, the front step area. So we'll get this down. And like this, for example, is a piece, interesting piece, useful piece. Lego doesn't have this piece at this time. They have a piece like this without the stud on it, but not one with the stud. I say at this time, I don't mean to imply that maybe they will eventually, maybe they will, but they have their own reasons and their own method to determine that stuff, so I don't really know, but very, very nice. And this is already kind of coming together here. I actually don't know if I've done any of the Street Fusion sub-themed stuff from Lumibricks, because some of the themes are like blend together for me. So I've done a steampunk one. I've done the like X series or like the off one. I've done the ones that are like town life or whatever, which Street Fusion Town Life. I've done some of the I don't know where the lighthouse falls. The red brick row house is probably town life. Street Fusion is, I think, supposed to be sort of modeled after 80s New York, to a certain extent. I haven't done any of the cyberpunk. I haven't done any of the castle. I haven't done any of the Wild West from Lumibricks yet, but I would like to. There's just only so much space, so much time and so much money to be able to do all of that. But maybe down the line, that is something that I could do. Right now, small channel. I'm not affiliated with any company. I don't get like sponsored things like that. I don't know if Lumibricks has a type of thing that is like the Lego Ambassador Network, but for Lumibricks, if it was ever to the point where Lumibricks wanted to send stuff to me to talk about or live stream or any of that stuff, I don't know if I would be opposed to it. But I would have to be transparent about that, and I don't think I have an issue there, so we'll sort of see if that ever comes to fruition here. So a nice little sort of checkered tile stairway here, or a couple steps off the street level, which is nice, and I hope I'm not missing anything. The sort of vaguely eggshell translucent white color that they use is really nice, but I do sometimes mistake it for other colors, but that is just part of the deal for me. And we're gonna eventually be connecting this all together. I can't remember, this is a corner building, so it's going to have a little bit different dimensions, and it's going to have street kind of all the way around, which is nice to have those on a street or a city, which is good. I kind of just display things in a line so far, but maybe eventually it would be built out into a kind of city street area, and then I could make better use of the corner areas here, these corner type builds. And surprisingly, we haven't routed any wires yet, which normally I think we would have by now, so a little bit different than previous brick built Lumibricks sets that I've looked at. I would anticipate seeing some of those relatively early on. A lot of them have them like on the first layer or two. Maybe I will. Sometimes they do these nice little connections on the side of the buildings to connect things, and I imagine this will have one of those, but I can't be sure until I get there. And I also don't know how long I'm going to stream this today. I suppose as long as I feel like, And I don't know. Hopefully the music's okay. Hopefully it's not going to get me in trouble. It should be set up to be royalty free or safe for streaming, safe for YouTube, safe for Twitch, and hopefully it's not too loud. Hopefully it's fine enough. I have to still experiment with what kind of music I want to play, because sometimes this is like, it's upbeat. It's not as chill as maybe I was going for, but and I don't typically want any lyrics or words in it, and one of the earlier tracks did have that, but it's fine as long as it's not too loud, and I'm listening to it through my headphones, so it doesn't appear as if it's too loud to me. But I don't know what that is like for any viewers out there. And Pumpkin is talking. Oh yeah, this one has an interesting way to open here, which we'll have to see how I like that. I'm all for Lumibricks experimenting with how we get access to the inside of their sets for display and for play and for other stuff. But they haven't ever really come down on a consistent strategy, which maybe is something they should look into. But maybe it's also better that they do it like set specific, so they sort of see how the set wants to be opened and wants the elements to be displayed. So if that means taking off the whole front facade, or if it means just doors, or if it means, you know, sliding out the different levels in there, I mean, it's all pretty acceptable. It might be better to have some standard, some consistency there, but I would not be opposed if Lumibricks was like, we just, whatever the sets tell us how they want to be opened and want to be accessed, and so we don't know until we're sort of going through there. I don't know what their philosophy is on that, but this one I do think is a corner building, and it has some sort of weirdness as far as how it connects. So we got one of these. Thanks anybody who's popping in. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. I did a stream last night. It went okay, but I decided, why not? I wanted to build this. Why not do another stream again here and give it a try? Hopefully the setup is better than it was, and I encounter less hiccups, less issues there, because last night I had some road bumps or roadblocks or something, so to speak. So here we have, what is this going to be? Just a little, I suppose, cardboard box or something, kind of on the back there. And then what are we doing here? We are connecting this like this. So this folds out, and then we can slide the thing out there. Is that right? Now I like this song I would like to skip. I was hoping not to have any lyrics here, so let me just switch to something else. Lumibricks is not also, at least as far as I know, consistent on how they do their extra pieces or their leftover pieces. So sometimes there's leftover pieces, or oftentimes there's leftover pieces that I wouldn't expect from other manufacturers. And that's just one of the quirks, but it is also nice. So typically I wouldn't expect to see these 1x2 tiles in the extra pieces there. And that is the first bag of pieces, or bags rather. I know I have a nice little friend who is in the box, but hopefully they don't get too scared when I grab the next bags. And we're going to be moving on to bags 2 here, and just continuing on. I am still curious to see when the wiring starts, because I imagine it's going to be somewhat soon. Oh yeah, we're going to start building up the walls of the first floor of the barbershop. A lot of prints coming in here, and some of the lighting is going to come in. So very, very cool. And I still haven't figured out how to like pause a stream. Oh, maybe is that just pause recording? I don't know, but that's okay. I do feel like I'm going to lose my voice if I stream pretty regularly. Occasionally I'll have an issue where it feels like I'm going to lose my voice when I'm just recording a lot. And I do talk probably more consistently on the stream. Well, maybe that's not true. I don't know. I don't know what the ad situation is like. I just don't know what it's like. So if you're seeing a lot of ads, I am sorry, because I haven't figured out how to adjust that at present. So we got some interesting colors in here. This is a blue-ish color that I don't know if other brands have like a direct analog to or a direct comparison to, so I'm not 100% sure, but it does look quite nice. And we will get into the next layer here. And thanks for popping by. Thanks for stopping in, even if you're only in for a minute. I just appreciate everyone, coming by and checking this out, because this is relatively new for the channel to do streaming. But I would like to think it would offer me and potential viewers and subscribers and stuff more opportunity to potentially get to know me and to see sort of how I work and to just hang out, so hopefully it does achieve that for people, because that's sort of the goal here. And we can move on to the next layers of the building. So it definitely is a roughly 32 by 32 base plate here, even though it's not built on a base plate. But then we do have this section that folds out. I'm going to reserve judgment on that until the full thing gets here. And now we get to interact with some wiring here, which is nice, and you get to see that. That's one of the more different things about Lumibricks. So what do I need? I need number 1, number 2. Okay. So one of these is going to go in the middle. This is one that has the sticky back sort of pressure plate on there, and then I'm not going to measure, but well, maybe I'm going to need to. Is this 20 millimeters? That almost looks long. Is there one of these that is short? Was there one in here? Let me see what we got going on. Typically, I would just unwrap all these from the get-go. Okay, so not that one. Put that back in there for now. I am looking for a specific one that is like this. I suppose it is going to be this one, huh? We'll just go with this one. And if there's another one, I'll find another one later. Pop that in there. Hopefully that's all good. And this one goes over here. Nice. Nice stuff. And yeah, working with wires and stuff, I had never really done. I've worked with electronics in other ways, but the working at like this scale and then combining it with the bricks and their channels and all that different stuff, it's a different type of build, and I appreciate that. It's fun, and it adds, in my opinion, quite a lot to the overall appeal at the end of these sets. So I think that's pretty darn cool. Where do they have this? So we're looping it in this way, but this is inset. How far? Just one stud, something like that. And these get a little bit tangled, but should be good there. Hopefully they don't. Yeah, I think that's going to work out. Same color. Same color. Oh no. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm assuming they're saying like there's two different colors of this, but maybe there's only one color of this, and there's only one color of this. So that means I'm using this color right now, and then this color right now, and then I don't know which color for the little piece here to start routing some wires, but we'll go with that one. And oh cool, we get to see some of these amazing prints that they do. So we have some graffiti styled things here, and actually these prints are maybe not going to be used right now, but we need the pieces that are attached to them. They do this really nice. They sort of pre-assemble these things, and then when they print across all of these pieces, so there isn't a weird seam or a weird gap there. And they do this for like a lot of different stuff in this set and other sets, which is really nice. It's like an extra level of care, an extra level of detail that they have to do, and it adds to their manufacturing processes and all of that stuff to do that. But then also making use of these pieces not directly connected to those other pieces they printed on is really nice. So they do a good job there. And I know like the marquee kind of thing for this barbershop is going to have some pieces like that, which is great because they look really cool. The printing from Lumibricks is a bit different from other places. I don't know if it's a difference between UV printing or like pad printing or stamping or something like that, but they're a little bit different. They have a different sort of texture to them than maybe the prints that I and other people might be used to. I also find that actually building their stuff for Lumibricks does a little bit different. We're building this sort of wall section here, and we're not like putting it directly onto the base that we've already built yet, and we're building up kind of a semi-significant amount before attaching this to anything. So they do, I think, relatively more kind of sub-assemblies like this for walls and different areas than other brands might do, and that's okay. I haven't encountered any huge issues with working in that way. Just different, and sometimes different is good, different is fun, exciting, can be nerve-wracking, but I don't feel a tremendous sense of like brand loyalty because I don't know if they've earned it. I don't know if they deserve it. I just it's not something that's like, oh, I only want to build Lego, even though that is what I build the majority of the time. I mean, that is almost all that I build, but I like to be able to have options, and I think a little bit of competition is good for the Lego group, is good for consumers, and everything there. So happy to be doing this. And if you're unfamiliar with the stuff here, hopefully you like it. I would recommend checking it out. When it comes to value, when it comes to sort of what they offer in a box here, and then just the raw prices of these things, Lumibricks does a really nice job. So we're going to add this wall in, and it's going to go over some of these wires, kind of connect up here, and then we are going to, at the very least, route some wire through here, although perhaps not yet. And we're going to continue working on the floor a little bit, doing some of this nice tile. I don't know if it's like, you know, linoleum or something, but this kind of panel floor over here, which feels very barbershop to me, and it's just generally kind of nice. I am searching for the pieces. Oh, I'm searching for the wrong pieces. There we go. So we'll pop this in and then do this over here. We do have some different colors in the choices for the flooring. And you know, people come in, people bop out. Thanks for coming by. If you're still here, you know, I hope the chat and things will work, but I don't know how to even moderate it. I don't know anything about streaming, so please be cool. And that is that. So we're going to route this wire which way? Just sort of this way. And then this wire is going to come out here. And this one's going to go there. Very good. We can pop a little stud on there, a 1x1 plate. We are going to fold this one up because that's one of the pressure ones. Fold this one over, and then one of these has a print on it that is going to cover these where these wires come out. So got that going in there. We're going to route this one up through here and cover it up with more. Oh, you know what? This is not right yet. I think that's what we're going for. Would have been helpful if I did this first. I'm making some mistakes. So, get that back on there. Got that wire coming through there. Pop this over here. And then add on the next nice printed bit here. So all printed pieces here, no stickers. That is pretty nice. So that's one of the things. And then of course we have these wires coming through here which are going to light up. Okay, this piece. I'm not actually sure. Oh, it's in here. This is nice. We're going to use a cape piece, which they didn't have on one of the minifigures, but we're going to use one. Are these the same color? It does appear so. And this is going to be folded up and put on the wall for the sort of thing that gets put around you when you get your hair cut, which is very nice. So just nice choice of pieces. I mean, I think this isn't like a new piece. It's just a standard sort of flexible cloth cape piece, but it really reads as what it's supposed to read as, which is a success. So we got that going on over there. And again, we're getting this same color, not same color stuff. So hopefully I'm able to figure this out. We're gonna do this, pop that on there, get that wire out of the way, pop that there, this can go there, and then we're gonna have a couple different wires. How do they go? They move like this. Is it supposed to step down? Yes. And then we're going to go like this. So I don't know how what that's going to connect to yet, but we will see. We will find out at some point in potentially hours from now. We will find out what that will connect to, but I don't know exactly yet. And what are we building here? This, we're going to work on tiling the floor, and then we're going to put something on it. And I don't know if it's just a wash basin or like where you shampoo your hair, or where they shampoo your hair. Something like that. Tucked away in the corner here. Helps hide some of the wires. Yeah, I think that is what this is. So I like that. I'm here for that. We got interesting little area to lie down to get washed, and then the Lumibricks figures don't have any spots for studs on the back of their legs or anything like that. So they don't attach in the same way that like other manufacturers' figures do, like the main Lego brand there, but they do still use these like friction pieces, which Lego also utilizes for figures. And we're going to work on some wall sectioning here. Hopefully I'm not going to have any issues with further color things. So hopefully all these colors are the same. The one benefit is if while I'm streaming, you notice that like, oh, those colors don't match, you might be right, but unless you're looking at the instructions at the same time as me, I don't actually know, but you could make me, double check, triple check, whatever else to see. So this does appear to then be the faucet area there where the sink is going to go. So nice little wash basin. I don't know if this set comes with like extra hair pieces and stuff to sort of simulate changing of hairstyles, going to the barber shop. Could be, could not be. We're at an hour of stream already, which admittedly some of it started off because I needed to sort the pieces and whatever else, but so far so good. And like I've said before, and we'll continue on these, I think this is likely something that I'll do semi regularly. I'm trying to do it right now, just because I'm just trying things out. I'm trying to revamp certain things, and I'm also trying to continue to grow the channel. So thank you everybody who's like helping and has been along with the journey of SoBricks. I've been doing it for in some ways maybe a long time, and in other ways not that long compared to other people who have been doing YouTube for a while. I went from posting at least one video like every day to build up a log of all of of just a lot of videos, and then I went, well, actually at one point I was doing like multiple a day, and then eventually I went to one a day, and then I went to less than one a day, and now I'm trying to do like 3 a week. But one of the things I'm also trying to do is do shorts and do more different kinds of videos and mixing in the streams in there as well, because I think it's good to diversify. It's good to try new things, even though I want the still like the core identity of the SoBricks channel to be, you know, pretty consistent and be the same. There's still room to try new things, and I'm happy to do that. Happy to share it with any viewer, potential viewer, current, past, future viewer there. Okay, we've threaded some wires through these special pieces, which is terrific, and we also will lock that down. I do believe there's actually some like vaguely chrome plated pieces in this set, which I'm really excited to see. I don't know what bag they might be in, but I was actually in the stream yesterday talking to somebody who was watching, and we were talking about those colors that Lego used to do. Was this in this set? Yes, or in this bag of pieces, hopefully. Okay, now we're going to loop this one back over into here. I don't know. Is this going to go? We will see. To be determined where this one's going to go. No pinched wires. And maybe there's a way we're going to hide this wire too at the end a little bit. I think I've actually grown to like be okay with wires showing. I just like cables and cords and things show sort of in life. Oh yeah, we're gonna cover those right up. No problem. No problem at all. Pop that in there. Pop that there. We got a little bit of a graffiti going on. I know that I think this is not related, but you know, could be, is they just for their cyberpunk stuff did a like graffiti van and like an anti-graffiti van. Hello, Stacks and Reacts. Hello. Little wave action there. That's appreciated. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for stopping in while I build this Lumibricks set. And I think I haven't looked at any of the cyberpunk stuff, but the idea that like they wanted to do good guys, sort of bad guys or whatever, but doing it like graffiti and the cleaning task force, I think is really smart, creative, fun, and maybe there's going to be some like cross universal theme, interdimensionality with the cyberpunk and the steampunk and the maybe every theme, which I know Lumibricks does put some effort into giving their characters story and writing out little things for them, which is nice. Like they go that extra mile there for that extra little bit of distance to do that, which I think is admirable. I like, you know, focusing on narrative and sets having that be a part of it. So that is pretty cool. Oh, this is just the connection for where these two halves come together. So that's good. I like that. I'm glad we have that in there. Hide that under the stairs is kind of interesting. Or what I presume is going to be stairs. Maybe not. Oh yeah, it is. It is indeed. And yeah, they did that nicely. Very nicely done. The designers for these buildings are really, really good. They are really good. They try new things. They do interesting stuff. Very, very cool. So happy with that. I like the modular buildings that the Lego group does. I've built a fair amount of them. I think they're very, very good as well. But all prints in this set and the lights just add so much character, so much life to the scene. And actually, if you go back to the older Lego modular buildings, there's some of them, like the very first ones, I think, don't even have detail on the inside. Like they don't even have anything there. I don't know how many that went for, but early on they were just like essentially empty. And then they started incorporating a little bit more of internal detail and rooms and all of that good stuff. Here's another area where I think I'm gonna run into some color problems, but I'm just gonna do my best. Do my best to follow the instructions here, and that does not feel right, but maybe it is. Something like that, something like that. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a welcome mat area or just discolored tile or differently colored tile. I don't know. Ooh, we got the nice gold frame here. And which piece is that? Ah. Oh, we gotta get some hair in there. I thought there was like printing on this window pane piece, but it's just actually seeing the staircase through that. That is not printed, so good there. Pop that along. Coming together nicely. This is easy enough to open, easy enough to close. And we will continue building. And I'm maybe missing... Where do these pieces go? Uh-huh. Okay. Where do these pieces go? We got one here. One here. I got some stuff on my surface. Do it like that. Do it like that. Pop one of these in. Beautiful. Very, very good. Get that in there. Pop this over here. And now we'll build in, oh, a little bit of a counter space. That is good. Just a little bit of sideways building here. You know what I'm thinking? I'm missing a couple pieces over there, so I will just go ahead and pop those in now that I noticed. That'll happen occasionally. We're gonna have this nice little curved counter area here, which is good. Interested to see how this connects. Oh, and they even did it to match up with the tiling. That is smart. Very cool. Very good job. It's the little things, the little details that really help elevate something like this. So, very pleased with that. Oh, flip that around. Pop over here like that. And what else do we have? We gotta route this. No. Where am I looking? Aha. Over here. Something like that. Pop this over there. This over there. And this is maybe just an extra piece. So that's okay. think I'm gonna take a break now for a while, and maybe I'll pop back on later. Not sure yet if I will continue streaming this today or over at some other time. Made some progress. Only got through 2 bags of pieces out of 15. Bags of pieces isn't necessarily correct because they are multiple bags per number. So there was like, the numbers F, letter F bags, which you open right away. There was the box with the lights and the different stuff. There was S, which you open early on and use throughout. And then there's like 4 bags 1. And then there was 3 or 4 number 2, which got us here. And we have sort of the base groundwork. I don't know. I mean, whatever slides in here is going to be significant. It's going to be important to the overall look of this. And I think I don't know when we're going to build that. The next bag for 3, we're going to build the entryway, some more window space over here, more wall, and we're actually going to kind of finish this out here for bags 3. So a lot of cool stuff coming up for this one. I'm really excited about it. Thank you everybody who popped in. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for supporting the channel. There are different ways to do that. I'm wearing some SoBricks merch. Go to tpublic.com, search for SoBricks. You can get a hat just like this one or a number of other designs, everything like that. I try to make them so they don't like scream like YouTuber merch or anything. I try to make them look cool, ultimately. So check that out. There's affiliate links. I don't have affiliate links for Lumibricks, but I do have affiliate links for a major online retailer that you can buy these things at. In fact, that's where I bought this for and got a little bit of a discount. So I'll have that somewhere that you can find. Click on one of those links, buy whatever you're going to buy anyway. It helps support the channel. Memberships, that stuff's great. I'm going to be doing new member kind of videos there of different types of content. So check those out. Of course, if I'm streaming, there's like supers and this and that and the other thing. I don't know if there's memberships through streaming chat, but there might be. So that's a great way as well. Thanks for popping in. Someone just popped in. I appreciate it. I'm in the process of signing off for now, but I may be back on a little bit later to continue working on this Lumibricks Barbershop set in the Street Fusion line. And there's just great ways to support the channel. Thanks, everybody. And I will talk to you soon. Until next